Hi, this is Becky Shulo with Artisan Advantage, and welcome back to my weekly video where we focus on finding an audience for your artwork and marketing your artwork to a niche. So today we are continuing in step one of the 7 steps to marketing your art to a niche, and step one is finding your audience. And if you remember, last week we talked about how to identify an audience in 4 steps. And I overviewed this 4-step process that I use when I work with artists to help them hone in on different audiences. So today I'm going to talk about the first step that we take, and that is called an assessment, or the assessment step. So assessment, of course, just means that we are taking stock of where you stand in your art career and everything about your body of work at this moment in time, okay? So I want you to have a complete picture of what you have going on there with your work. So how do we do this? It's simply going through, I've sort of created this long list of questions that if I'm working with you one-on-one, I would take you through to really just make sure you have a clear picture of everything that's going on. So they're more like, the questions are like prompts. And even if you think you have a good grasp on your work, which I'm sure you do, and what you're offering, this is still a really valuable exercise to go through. I've done this with artists that already have businesses established, already are making sales, and we've been able to uncover missed opportunities and themes that are running through the work and messaging, and come up with some messaging and finding audiences just by going through this process. So this assessment step really has 4 categories of questions, and that would be, what do you have to share? It's like the what, who, what, where, when, and why, right? What do you have to share? Who has purchased in the past, and where has it been sold? And why are people loving your work? Or why are they attracted to your work? And I'm going to run through these 4 categories of questions just to kind of overview them. And at the end, I will share how to get a free assessment guide that really gives you all those questions that I would go through with you if we were doing this one-on-one in person. So you can do this for yourself. So the questions are very detailed, but like I said, I'm just going to kind of overview here. The first one is the what, and that is, what do you have to share? So you're going to take a good look at your audience, and you're going to look at the work you create. And this is going to be like everything you could ever think of. And then I'm going to give you some blank spaces where you can write other things that come into mind about your work. But it's really all about understanding, what is that product? Thinking of this from a marketing standpoint, what is that product that you have to offer to the world? So we want to start there. The second thing we look at is the who. So who has been buying your work so far? Maybe you're not selling work yet, but you've had people looking at it, or you have a social media profile. So we want to think, who are those people that have been interested? What are they? What can you see about the patterns of how they're finding you, or maybe where they're coming from? We want to start thinking about who these people are. And then the second, or the third question, I'm sorry, is under the category really of, where have you sold your work, or where has it been well received? And, this could be a whole bunch of different places, but we really kind of want to identify where, if there are any patterns there of what's working better for you than one place versus another, one type of situation versus another. So you'll go through that. And then the last part is really the why. So why are people attracted to you? Why are they attracted to your work, I should say? And you can learn that by just listening to what they tell you when they make a purchase, or before they make the purchase, why they're interested, and really just keeping those things, if you want to keep notes on that or take stock of it, but doing your best to really think about what you know this far about why people are interested in what you're doing. So that's the assessment. We're going to sit down and do that. That is the step 1 of the 4 steps I take to help an artist find an audience. And so to recap them, or to recap these questions, they're going to be the what are you doing, or what is it all about your work? Who has been attracted to it thus far? Where are they finding you? Where are they coming to you from, and why? And if we can start to look at this, and as you go through this, you might come up with questions. You'll come up with questions maybe that I haven't even asked in the guide, but this will get the process going for you. And then over the next 3 weeks or next couple of weeks, we will keep going through these 4 steps to finding an audience. So today's resources, I have for you that guide that you can go through those questions for yourself to do an assessment of what it is that you're offering at this moment in time. This also gives you ideas, I might add, for where you might want to go with your work, or what's lacking in your work. Or what, you can get all kinds of different ideas about maybe directions you want to dig into from going through this process. So that's your first resource. And then, of course, I'd encourage you to join my weekly email list because I do send things out about free programs and resources that might interest you. And then, of course, if you ever want to talk to me one-on-one about working with me directly, we can do that and start the ball rolling with a complimentary short 15-minute conversation where we get to meet. You can tell me what you're doing, what your needs are, and talk about what I do and see if there's any fit there for you. So that's it for this week, and I will see you next week. Thanks.